So it's nice to have you with us today, Clara. I appreciate you logging on. Also with us today from our office is Lindsay Johansson, our state archaeologist. Ashley Malloy. Maybe someone needs to mute themselves because we're getting some echoey feedback, if you don't mind. Ashley Malloy is also here, our compliance architectural historian, and our newest archaeologist in the office has also joined us today, Lonnie Ellering. So thank you, ladies, for also being here. And I see that Alana has joined us again. Hopefully, we can get some of her audio as we go forward. So I guess I'll just jump right in and let you know. So as you probably know that we've been in the process of developing our cultural resource information system, or ICRIS. Some of you, some of the tribal members have attended earlier informational or listening sessions, but we wanted to have a meeting specifically with the tribes to answer any questions that you all might have. We have set 2 hours aside for this meeting. If we don't need all that time, we can sign off early. If 2 hours isn't enough time to address all of your questions or comments, we can certainly schedule a follow-up meeting. So today I want to just give you a brief overview of what we envision for ICRIS, and then Ashley is going to provide kind of a little demonstration of how users will create a project in the application. And that'll just kind of give you a sense of the visual of what ICRIS will look like, and then maybe spark some questions on your part. So I'm not going to go over everything that we've covered in previous informational sessions entirely, but I'll repeat a few of the more salient points to start us off in case you weren't on those calls. Specifically that while ICRIS is going to bring changes for the SHPO and external users, the Section 106 process itself will remain unchanged. So what will change is primarily how external stakeholders interact with our office. So ICRIS is planned to be an enterprise-wide, spatially enabled via GIS web-based application, which will provide workflow management tools and automated action for SHPO users to increase our efficiency and reduce turnaround time for project consultation. For external users, such as federal agencies, contractors, and tribes, you will have real-time access to SHPO records and ICRIS will provide a portal for users to create projects and upload survey reports and associated materials. As now, only appropriately credentialed users will have access to sensitive data, including archaeological site data and reports. All users will have access to built environment information. The system will also provide a dashboard for subscription users to track projects as they move through the Section 106 process. Eventually, as funds allow, we'll expand the system to cover other program areas at the SHPO, such as National Register nominations, certified local government grant applications, and federal tax credits. But for now, the focus of the application development is on Section 106 consultation. So just kind of giving you an idea of some of the changes that will be experienced with ICRIS as soon as it is implemented. Site forms will be entered directly into the ICRIS system. We will moving forward be calling them resource records rather than site forms for technical coding reasons. But the access databases that you may be familiar with for the ASI and IHSI site forms will go away from on our end of things. However, the old forms will be included in the ICRIS as legacy data and available for users to view. The data or form fields that are currently input into the access database system will be largely the same. Photos and other associated materials can be uploaded directly into ICRIS. Section 106 reports or survey reports will be uploaded in PDF format into the system, so no hard copies will be required. Because everything will be initiated through a GIS, much of the locational information will be auto-generated, saving external users time and effort and ensuring more accurate maps. Users will create a project in ICRIS, and within a project, users will create resource records. As now, there will be fields that are required. With ICRIS, users will not be able to complete or submit a resource record without completing all required fields. We anticipate that this will decrease the back and forth between SHPO and agencies and contractors where we're seeking additional or clarifying information. Currently, external users must contact the SHPO for record searches. In ICRIS, users will do their own record search. This can be accomplished either by drawing an area of potential effect within the GIS or uploading a shapefile of the area of potential effect or survey area. Once created, all existing sites or reports will populate on the map within your project area, and a tabular list will be generated as well. Users can click on the sites or reports to open the entire document. One significant change is that as soon as a user finishes a resource record and hits complete, a Smithsonian trinomial will be auto-generated for the resource record. So users will have that information immediately and not have to wait for SHPO to assign them. Related to that, both archaeological and built environment resources will now receive a Smithsonian trinomial. There will no longer be IHSI site numbers issued, though that data will still be part of our legacy data and searchable in the system. SHPO staff and subscription users will have a dashboard within ICRIS with active projects visible. On the SHPO end of things, we will have a visual indication and automated reminders regarding review deadlines. The ICRIS will have automated messages and timestamps to track project progress. We are developing a field app utilizing Survey 123 that will allow users to capture data and images in the field and batch upload that data upon returning to the office. However, use will not be mandatory. ICRIS will not dictate how tribal consultation occurs. Tribes that have a TIPO may continue to use whatever forms and submission formats that it chooses. We do intend to have a GIS layer in the ICRIS that will identify tribal lands and alert users to the need to contact the tribes for consultation. The alert will include tribal contact information. To that end, if you're willing to share it, we would like to ask each tribe to share a shapefile of reservation lands and ideally a shapefile identifying the larger tribal ancestral lands so that it'll be readily apparent to project proponents which tribe or tribes they need to consult with. And finally, while ICRIS will have a subscription service for users who would like the efficiencies that we're building into the system, Idaho tribes will be given full access to ICRIS at no cost. So that's kind of the big picture overview. At this point, I'm going to turn things over to Ashley Malloy, who's going to do sort of a quick demonstration of some of the ICRIS functionality for you. Keep in mind that we're still in the development stage, so while the final product will likely look similar to what we're showing you today, there will undoubtedly be some tweaks between now and go live, which is currently scheduled for January 11th. And once Ashley is finished, we will have plenty of time to answer questions and have any discussion that you would like to have. So Ashley, if you'd like to go ahead and take over and do a demonstration.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So as Trisha said, there's different levels to ICRIS, and right now I am logged in as a pro user. So a pro user would have archaeological clearance to see those records. And currently I am sharing a completed or almost complete project, a Section 106 project. So I just thought I would first show you the end product, and then I will show you how to create a project. But we created a timber sale. It's a Section 106 review. The lead agency is the U.S. Forest Service, Boise. The lead agency reviewer is, it's my Basic Plus account, but it could say one of the Forest Service archaeologists right here. If it's being reviewed under a programmatic agreement, that agreement would be selected here. It has the agency's project finding, agency comments, organization project numbers, and this is for a brief project description. The submitter organization is normally either the lead agency doing the work or it is a contractor, so it'll have that information here. We have the ability to add in secondary organizations. So we have added the Coeur d'Alene Tribe here, and so this will allow access to the project. And then if there's a related project, a previous SHPO review, we can add that information here. Each project has attachments, so each project is required to have at least 2 photos. So we have 1 photo uploaded here, along with a cover letter, or in some cases, federal agencies have forms that they use, so that could be uploaded here. It also has a related project survey here, and it also allows you to toggle to see if there's been previous surveys in that area. And there has been 3 previous surveys in that area. You can also toggle to all surveys. So it'll show the current survey. And you can actually click open to see the project survey. The full report can be viewed by clicking the open button. And then it also shows you on GIS where the survey was done. So it'll tell you it's a class 3 inventory. You can zoom out or zoom in. And then also has some more details down here. So it tells you how many intensive acres are surveyed, reconnaissance acres, the PLSS information and quad information. But I can show you, let's see, this. And it may not open. Oh, there we go. So this is a survey that was done for the Payette National Forest, and that would be here. We'll go back to our project screen where all of our information is. Just like the surveys where you can toggle to, you can click literature review. It can tell you all the information that has been previously recorded in the area. You can also create new versions by selecting create new version. And this is where I can go in and edit this site record and update this, or not site record, but resource record. So this is a linear resource at State Highway 21 through Custer County. It has all the descriptions. You can have a section for history, National Register eligibility, information here. We have legacy site form information available under the attachments. We also have attachments require a photograph. So each resource will have a photograph up here, sort of like a profile for your resource. And then it'll show in GIS the resource. So this is a linear resource, so it's mapped throughout here. And then below here, we have the different versions of the resource, associated projects where the resource was recorded, associated surveys, which doesn't have any previous ones right now, and then resource comments for SHPO to add any resource comments that our office may have on a resource. And then each tab, so this is the resource general tab, each resource based on its type. So if it's an archaeological site, if it's a building, object, structure, district will have more information related and specific fields for that type of resource. So a linear resource has a little bit limited compared to a building or archaeological site. But you can see here it has all the primary and secondary construction information, function and use, and the attachments carry over from the previous page. Just hit back to our project.
Ashley, can you show them an example of an archaeological resource record?
Yes. So we can go, I think, yeah, I'm pro account. So this one's not filled in completely, but we have this resource record. It's a historic resource or historic temporal designation. I'm an architectural historian, so I don't deal with a lot of archaeological sites. And then we have the eligibility information here, just like the other resource record. This information stays the same no matter which resource you're on. Has the attachments in this section, and then the GIS shape here. Then when you go to property type, a little bit different. We have the archaeological site. It's historic, and then a brief description. So it says foundation depressions, revisit to the site determined that depressions were not house pits, but due to natural causes. And so some of this information was information that was added previously. And then artifacts and features. This is not populated because it hasn't been updated yet in the current system, but you could pull that information from the legacy site form here. But it'll ask for artifacts and features, environment and impacts. If there's been any collection information, that will be present right here. And then the map of the resource again is showing here, and then just like that linear resource, we have other versions, associated projects where this was reviewed, associated surveys, which there are none right now, and then resource comments if there are any comments. Oops, from SHPO. Then so we have, yeah, the GIS information down here. So are there any questions about just a general the project information?
I know that we threw a lot at you. That was a really quick little demonstration, and it's sort of I'm sure overwhelming. Mostly we wanted to give you a sense of what this is going to look like. But certainly we're now available to answer any questions about, what we just demonstrated, or just about, how things will go in general. Any questions you have, any comments, concerns, we'd like to hear it all. So we are all ears for you to sort of give us some feedback here.
And the GIS right now is kind of limited, like Tricia said, that we're going to have a lot more layers available in search capabilities. It just hasn't been built out quite yet.
Can I